Hi, my name is Jesus Chavez Garnica, and I'm 30-year-old. I was born and raised in Michoacan, Zacapu. Zacapu is the town. Michoacan is the state, and Mexico is central Mexico. My childhood, it was pretty fun. I will describe it really fun. I came from a really lovely family, which is my mom, my dad, and 4 brothers. 3 brothers and myself. I'm the youngest of 4, all boys. My dad was always working. He was a hard worker. He works at the construction, and he always teach me that we could not always have everything we wanted, but at least so that we give our best every single day of our lives to try to get whatever we want in this life. And I came to Plano when I was 15. Life is made of chances and opportunities, and I guess I took advantage of one of the opportunities that they offered me. I was working at the fast food companies after a year and a half, since I started as a dishwasher, and then later I was the manager of these 2 restaurants, fast food restaurants. But I think from that I started thinking about the real food, to cook the real food, and then a friend of mine invited me to come in to join this company, which they were like real food, and then at the same time it was to study the culinary arts, to know how to cook well. I think the biggest surprise about cooking is that I never thought I would find so much joy. That not only cooking on the kitchen, but I was on the line with the people, just one-on-one, like, hey, how can I help you, and how's your morning, and just having a conversation and a personal relationship with them. I never see myself like enjoying it so much. When I was a kid, I never thought about the priesthood. Like, to be honest, I never thought about it. I would just go to Mass because I have to, because my mom obliged us to go to Mass. I was a soccer player since I was 7 years old, so in order to go to my game, I have to go first to Mass. And after Mass, then I was free to go. And I was always just worrying about playing soccer and just doing stuff on the street, just playing on the streets. That was my main thing. It was until I was here in the U.S. that I had the first thought about the priesthood when I was 20 years old. I was on a break with the girl that I was dating, and it was my day off. I used to have Mondays as my day off from the work. And on that Monday, I just woke up, and the first thing that comes to my mind, go to the church and ask him, what does he want from you? Because I was really confused. I was like, man, I'm really involved in the church. I was in the charismatic renewal, young adults. I was in the catechist formation and the RCIA thing. I was everywhere, like in the church. And at the same time, I was like dealing between the marriage life, because I was dating, and then now in church. And I was there kneeling, and I told him I was really angry. I was angry with God, and I told him, what do you want from me? I quit 2 of my jobs in order for me to serve in the church. Like, if you want me to get married, I will quit 2 of my responsibilities in church and start working, because I want to pay a house, and I want to pay a nicer car, and to do all the things that I have to do. But if you want me to become a priest, let me know, and I will. And I've heard many preachers and many people saying, God will never call you through the cell phone. God will never text you or do something through the phone. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. He did. And the way he did, it was that I was there kneeling, and as soon as I started praying, after 15 minutes, my phone rings. And I answered, and the first thing was, hello, Jesus. I was like, yes, who is this? And he was like, this is Father Rudy from the vocations office. I'm the vocational director for the Diocese of Dallas. Do you have a minute to talk? And I'm like, I was like, that's too soon, bro. I was like, that's too soon. Like, you cannot answer me that. Too soon. That was too soon. I couldn't believe it. And I was, yes, like, Father. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, Father, I'm at the church praying to God. What does he want from me? So do you have time to talk to me? I was like, yes, Father, I have more than this day to talk to you. And I went to his office and we talked. And he said, well, we could try it as a process. And if you're a good candidate, you could go to the seminary in the year. I was like, okay, so that's going to take a year. He said, yes. But 2 months later, and he said, everyone knows you in the vocations office. So they say you're ready to go to the seminary. So if you're willing to go back to Mexico, this is the option. And I was like, well, yes, I wouldn't mind to go to Mexico because I really want to give the try to the seminary first. He said, well, but the good news are, or the bad news are, that that's in next week if you want to go. And I was like, wow. And I took my chance. I sold my truck because as a good Mexican, I used to drive my Chevy Silverado with 22s on it. And I sold it. I sold the truck and I went back to Mexico City. And after 4 years in Mexico, I got back to Houston, 5 years. And then I was ordained on June 1st. Amazingly, it's God's grace. I've seen it. So to me, it's been like the switch. I used to serve food for the body and food for the journey. But here in the connection with the theological connection could be that now I'm feeding 1,000 people or hundreds of people at the church with something that is food, but at the same time, it's a heavenly reality. Hey, coming in, welcome. Wow, thank you. Perfect. This is the communion in which we all are united in Christ, and this is the food for the soul. We gather into one, and that's I guess the great connection that I've seen into that, serving the food for the body and serving the food for the soul, for an everlasting life, not only for this life.